All right, let's talk about something we've all probably struggled with, the enterprise risk dashboard. You know the ones I'm talking about. They're supposed to be helpful, but they end up as these super complicated data dumps. So in this explainer, we're going to break down how to turn those things from a headache into a tool that actually helps you make decisions. Let's get into it.
I'm sure you've seen this happen. A company pours a ton of time, a ton of money into a brand new super shiny dashboard. And then what happens? It just sits there. Nobody uses it. It becomes this white elephant in the room, right? It's expensive, it's a pain to maintain, and it's not really doing anything. It's a super common problem, but believe me, it's one we can fix.
So I want you to think for a second about your own company. Is your dashboard the go-to spot for action and insight? Or is it kind of gathering some digital dust in a corner somewhere? Hey, if it's the second one, no judgment. You're definitely in the right place. Okay, so here's our game plan. We'll kick things off with a big problem, what I'm calling the dashboard dilemma. Then we'll get into building a solid strategic foundation. After that, it's all about turning that data into real decisions. We'll also cover how to get people to actually use the thing. And finally, how to keep it fresh and always improving.
And here's the framework we're going to use to make it all happen. 5 simple but absolutely critical steps to success. We're going to walk through each one, piece by piece, so you can see exactly how they come together to create a dashboard that's actually worth the investment.
All right, let's start with Section 1, the dashboard dilemma. You know, so many risk managers spend hours, sometimes even days, pulling together these manual reports. It's tedious, right? And the promise of a dynamic, real-time dashboard is so appealing. But here's the thing, without the right strategy, it just falls flat. The goal here is to get you from that endless reporting grind to having powerful insights at your fingertips.
And that leads us right into the solution, which, and this is important, all starts with strategy. See, a successful dashboard isn't really about the fanciest charts or the most complicated code. Nope. It starts way before you even think about software. It starts by building a rock-solid strategic foundation for why this thing even needs to exist in the first place.
Okay, step 1, write a mission statement. And you know what I love about this is how simple yet incredibly powerful this one idea is. Think about it. If you can't explain your dashboard's purpose in a single, clear sentence, it's probably already on its way to becoming one of those white elephants we talked about. This sentence, this is your North Star. It guides every single design choice you make from here on out.
And here's a perfect example of what I mean. Check this out. For an action dashboard, the mission is improve action management efficiency by reducing overdue actions and prioritizing criticality. See how specific that is? It's not fuzzy. It's got clear goals. Improve efficiency, cut down on overdue stuff, and focus on what's critical. Now, every single chart, every filter on that dashboard has to serve that mission. Simple as that.
Alrighty, on to step 2, and you can see how this builds on the last one, defining the benefit case. Your dashboard has to deliver real value, and that value usually falls into one of 3 buckets. First, are you saving time by automating something that used to be a manual chore? Second, are you cleaning up your data so that people can actually trust it? Or third, are you connecting different pieces of data in new ways to uncover brand new business insights?
And hey, don't just take it from me. This quote from a group risk officer is, well, it's perfect. They said the dashboard saved countless resource-sparing hours and gave them instant valuable insight and confidence in the accuracy of data. See? They hit 2 of those value drivers right on the head. Time efficiency? Check. Confidence in data? Check. That's the kind of feedback you get when your strategy is crystal clear right from the beginning.
Okay, so we've got our mission, we've got our benefit case. Now we're at the real pivot point. Step 3. This is where we design a dashboard that doesn't just throw numbers at you, but actually helps people make decisions and take action.
This is the absolute key right here. Data is passive, but decisions are active. And an okay dashboard will show you data, but a great dashboard, it's designed to know what your next question is going to be. It anticipates that critical follow-up question that pushes you from just looking at something to actually doing something about it.
Let's just walk through a quick example so you see what I mean. Imagine a manager logs into their new incident dashboard. Their very first question, the top-level one, is pretty simple. How many extreme incidents happened? And the dashboard gives them a quick, clear answer. 1. Okay, I mean, that's good to know, but you can't really do anything with that information yet, can you? It's just a number. The real magic is what comes next. And this is the magic right here. A truly well-designed dashboard basically invites the user to ask that second question. It's not just what happened, it's where did it happen?
That's the question that moves us from just knowing something to actually doing something.
And bam, the dashboard delivers. Because it lets the user drill down or filter, they can instantly see the incident was in the marketing and communications unit. So now they have an action. They know exactly who they need to go talk to. See, that's the full journey from data to decision.
Now, for what might be the most overlooked part, the human element. You can build the most amazing actionable dashboard on the planet, but if nobody knows how to use it, or even why they should bother, it's going to fail. And that's step 4, planning for user adoption from day 1.
Look, user adoption doesn't just magically happen. It needs a plan. You need a communication strategy so people understand why this new tool matters to them. You absolutely need user guides and training so they know how to use it without getting frustrated. And this one is huge. You need to assign a clear owner, a go-to person for questions and feedback. Without these pieces, even the best dashboards just kind of wither on the vine.
Which brings us perfectly to our final step, number 5. A successful dashboard isn't a one-and-done project. It's not something you build and then walk away from. It's a living asset. It has to be nurtured, and it has to evolve and improve over time.
And here's the big secret to this final step. Start small. Please don't make the classic mistake of trying to do way too much all at once. Trying to build the perfect, does-everything dashboard right out of the gate, it almost always leads to performance problems, blown deadlines, and a super confusing tool that nobody wants to use. Just focus on nailing one key objective first. Instead, you've got to think in a cycle. First, you launch a small, focused version 1. Then, and this is key, you listen. You gather user feedback. What's working? What's not? What's driving them crazy? And then you use all that great feedback to iterate. You build a roadmap for the next set of features and improvements. It creates this amazing, virtuous cycle of engagement and ever-increasing value. I mean, this quote from a risk and compliance manager just says it all, doesn't it? They said that taking the time to truly understand what the business needed, that's what resulted in them developing even more dashboards to support reporting. They didn't just build a tool and walk away, they built a whole reporting ecosystem that grew right alongside the business.
So if there is one thing, just one thing, you take away from this explainer, let it be this. A great dashboard has almost nothing to do with what kind of charts you pick or what color scheme you use. Real success is born from strategy. It comes from having a clear mission, a real benefit case, and a smart plan for how you're going to communicate and evolve it over time.
And that brings us to the end. So I'll just leave you with this one question. Thinking about these 5 steps we just walked through, how do your own dashboards shape up? What's just one thing you could do tomorrow to start moving them from being just another static report to being a real engine for action in your organization? Thanks so much for tuning in.